In 2026, the FIFA World Cup expands across the United States, Mexico, and Canada to become the largest sporting event ever staged. It kicks off on June 11th and runs all the way to July 19th. That is 39 days of continuous international football. This chart shows the dramatic surge in total fixtures. In Qatar in 2022, 32 teams played 64 matches. In 2026, 48 teams will play 104 matches. This volume of football turns what used to be a highly curated, month-long sprint into a grueling marathon of endurance. For fans, whether you are watching at home or traveling to the stadiums, this creates a logistical hurdle. You have to figure out how to manage your time, your budget, and your attention across a dense schedule without burning out by week 2. To survive until the final while consuming more football than ever, you are going to need a disciplined strategy for managing your schedule. This bracket flowchart maps out the foundational structure: 12 groups consisting of 4 teams each. Under the new rules, the top 2 teams in each group automatically advance, but the safety net is wide. The 8 best third-place teams will also survive the group stage. All of those advancing teams funnel directly into a brand new stage for the tournament, the round of 32. The immediate trade-off here is a highly forgiving group stage. Because 32 out of 48 teams advance, you are going to see a high volume of low-stakes, potentially one-sided fixtures early on. The exception is the opening week. The first few days feature high-profile kickoffs in major hubs like Mexico City, Toronto, and Los Angeles. These opening fixtures give the 3 host nations guaranteed prime-time spotlight matches in their home stadiums. But because group elimination is so difficult to achieve, the true do-or-die tournament drama doesn't actually begin until the knockout rounds start on June 28th. This map shows the expansive geographic footprint of the 16 host cities spread across the North American continent. While the early matches are distributed widely, the United States will exclusively host all of the knockout rounds from the quarterfinals onward. For a traveling supporter, attempting to follow a single team's progression could mean flying from Seattle down to Miami and up to Boston. It is a complex cross-country logistical web. If you are building a multi-city itinerary, you must schedule buffer days between matches to prevent physical exhaustion and to account for potential travel delays. All roads eventually lead to the July 19th final at the 82,000-capacity New York-New Jersey Stadium. The final is designed to be a high-wattage cultural spectacle, headlined by a halftime show featuring global icons like Shakira, Madonna, and BTS. Chasing matches across multiple international borders is a trap. Picking a single regional hub and staying there is the only viable strategy to physically and financially survive the tournament. To understand who you should be watching, we can look at the probabilities calculated by Opta's AI supercomputer for the expanded field. The data points to Spain as the marginal favorite to win the title, but right behind them is a tight statistical balance among the other elite teams: France, Argentina, England, and Brazil. That parity among the heavyweights means 2026 projects to be one of the most statistically open tournaments in modern history. And despite the expanded access, the AI gives dark horses like Norway or Belgium only about a 2% chance of lifting the trophy. Viewers need to actively track the early heavyweight clashes, like Brazil versus Morocco, because the eventual winner is likely to emerge from that top tier of 6 contenders. The data proves you cannot rely on a single dominant team to carry the narrative. The parity at the top requires you to curate your watch list around specific, high-pedigree matchups. Surviving the 2026 World Cup requires strategic endurance. This matrix plots a decision framework for your time, your necessary investment in time or money on the bottom axis against your expected viewing reward on the vertical axis. Down in the low investment, low reward quadrant, we have the group stage matches between the smaller nations. These games offer the lowest return on your viewing hours. Contrast that with the host openers. For just a single day, localized commitment, you get the highest intensity spectacle, putting it high on the reward scale for a relatively low investment. If watching on TV, skim the 72 group stage matches and watch only the heavyweights. Hoard your attention for the knockout stages in the top right quadrant. Once the round of 32 begins, the jeopardy increases and your investment pays off. In the high investment variable reward quadrant, we find multi-city travel during the group stage. The friction of flights, hotels, and transit makes this a demanding logistical trap. For traveling fans, Anchor yourself in a single regional hub. Otherwise, you have to accept the significant physical and financial toll of constant domestic flights. The ultimate champion in 2026 will have to survive the most physically demanding World Cup ever played. As a fan, you must execute your viewing and travel strategies with that exact same level of disciplined endurance.